Hey guys, it's Lemming Rush, and today we're going to be doing a review of the Tier 8 Russian premium tank, the Is6. So, this is probably one of the most fun heavy tanks in the game that I've played so far, so I actually really enjoy this tank. But to start off, I'm going to prove to you guys that I do somewhat know what I'm talking about. Alright, so I've got 100 battles in this tank, 73% win rate, 1,355 average experience, as you can see right up here. My average damage per game is 2,817, and on average I get around 2 kills per game. For my marks of excellence, I'm at 95.46. I got my 3rd mark on my 100th game, so there's that. I have had 2 top guns. So this thing isn't very good at stealing kills, by the way. It's not good at grabbing a lot of kills. It's a lot better at doing damage, as you can see with my 30 high calibers in the 100 games. So this is one of those tanks that isn't going to get you a lot of kills, but it definitely does a good job at doing a lot of damage. Alrighty, so now on to the actual tank part. This is Brothers in Arms all the way down. I've put Brothers in Arms on my crew, and the reason for that is, for all Russian heavies, you need to try to reduce the amount of time you spend aiming. Brothers in Arms does that. That's the main reason I run Brothers in Arms on this tank. Also, it increases your DPM, how fast you drive and stuff, but the main reason I like Brothers in Arms is it reduces your aim time. For my 2nd skill, I've gone 6th Sense. Obviously, you need 6th Sense, and then I've gone Repairs, and Safe Stowage. The reason I run Safe Stowage on this crew is because it's actually my IS3 crew. And the IS3's ammo rack is like right at the front of it, so it gets ammo racked really, really easily. I would suggest not having a dedicated crew for your IS6. It's much better to put like any other Russian heavies crew in here because it doesn't have a penalty. As you can see, my IS3 crew is in here without any penalties. So that's one of the advantages of a premium tank. For my 3rd skill, I've got Repairs, so I'm finishing off Repairs because heavy tanks take forever to repair their tracks. They also get RE'd a lot, so it's nice if you can bring those tracks up quickly before you get clicked. Snapshot, Smooth Ride, and basically the reason I run those 2 skills is the same reason as everything else. I am trying to reduce this thing's aim time. It's pretty bad, and I don't like to spend time in front of the enemy, like standing still, where, you know, that gives the arty more time to hit you as well, so I try to reduce that amount of time. For my 4th skills, I've got Intuition for the loader, and the only reason I have Intuition on the 4th skill is because there's nothing else that's really useful for a loader. I'll show you guys right here. Camouflage on a heavy is pretty retarded. Firefighting, no. Adrenaline rush, maybe, but not really. Like, I don't like fighting on 10% hit points. Like, the problem I have with adrenaline rush is it means you're at an advantage if you take hits, and I wouldn't suggest losing hit points in a heavy tank. The reason I don't think firefighting is a good idea is because if you're showing your engine to enemies in a heavy tank, you're playing them wrong. That's the bottom line. So I maybe I'll put firefighting on the 4th skill, but I've only really gotten set on fire once, and that was when Artie hit my engine deck, when I don't show my engine to enemies often, so I don't need firefighting. And then I've got clutch braking. That makes the tank turn faster, so it's pretty useful. And then I've got armor, and the reason I have armor is because Artie likes to shoot at me a lot. So basically, if Artie hits your gun, it means you don't have to burn a repair kit on it because you've got this thing. And it basically means that if your gun is damaged, it doesn't suffer as much as it would if you didn't have armor. So armor is helpful if you have a damaged gun. And then I've got Jack of all trades. And basically, I like Jack of all trades because if you lose your loader and your driver, let's pretend, you're able to repair your loader and your driver won't be as effective. Basically, Jack of all trades mean your driver doesn't... It doesn't affect your tank as much when your driver dies, so that's why I have Jack of all trades on this tank. As far as setup goes for equipment and ammo and etc., basically I run Rammer, GLD, and VSTAB. I have 20 APCR, 8 AP, and 2 HE, and the reason I run 20 gold shells is because I don't run this tank for a profit. This is a fun tank for me. I couldn't care how many credits I make. That being said, I still make credits with this setup, so it's one of those tanks where you can spam all gold and still make credits, which I think is pretty fantastic. So, as you can see, I've got 20 APCR, 8 AP, 2 HE, and the reason I don't carry more AP is because I sort of like to make credits. Like, you don't really need gold shells for light tanks and RHMs and stuff, so it's nice to have the option to make a couple extra credits when, you know, shooting this thing. Just something you need to know is the AP pen is 175 and the APCR pen is 217. So the gold pen will not go through the front of an E75. It doesn't matter like if you're shooting gold or AP. The gold won't go through the front of like an E75 and things. Basically everything else though Gold will be able to pen the weak spots of. The AP, not so much. Like, you sort of need AP, you need APCR for definitely a lot of tier 8 heavy tanks, not so much tier 7s and 6s, but you definitely need gold for tier 8s and tier 9 heavy tanks. So that's what I would suggest shooting gold at, if you know how to aim for weak spots. The gold won't just laugh through upper front plates of things, you need to aim for weak spots with the gold ammo. So that's why, you know, it's not like OP gold pen in my experience. I run the food because the same reason as everything else. I try to reduce the thing's aim time. Food also increases the accuracy. Since this thing has like 0.4 accuracy or whatever it is, it's very difficult to aim for weak spots. The food means you aim quicker, you don't have to spend as much time in front of the enemy's gun, and it means you're more likely to hit weak spots, which is really important in this tank since the pen is just crap. That's the worst thing about this tank is its pen. So yeah, hopefully this was better than my last review. Let's go hop into the replay. Alrighty, so we are on the map Redshire. It's a standard battle, and what I like to do on Redshire is like in heavy tanks, what I like to do is I like to go to where all the enemies are. They aren't the most mobile in the world, so you sort of have to predict to where, you know, most of the enemies are going to be, and you take a look at their team lineup, and they've got, you know, like 10 heavies or whatever. It's more like 8, but they've got a ton of heavies. Heavies like to play the zero line. Now, I would rather bring a heavy into the middle of the map, but since I know most of their team is going to be there, and most of my team is going to come here too, I don't want to let my teammates die, so I'm going to go help them out over here and basically just do as much damage as I can. So, I've never played this area before in a heavy, maybe once or twice I have, but definitely not consistently, so I'm just sort of playing it by ear. I'm going to go up to this rock, and we're just going to sort of see how it works. So I put a shot into this T21 right away, and this is actually 1x speed. It looks pretty slow to me, but yeah, we're just going to basically just play this corner, and we're going to hug this rock because that should keep us safe from artillery, depending on where he put himself. There's the KV-5. This almost looks like it's in half speed, but there we go, that's ×2, so it is in 1x speed. Just waiting to shoot at that IS-3 there. He got safe, though. Looks like he's going to give me a shot, but it wasn't really a safe shot, so I didn't take it. And we're just going to sort of... I basically don't want that guy to, like, poke up on me and put a shot into me while I'm focusing down the KV-5s or whatever. So we're going to put a shot into that KV-5. Then back off. Notice how I'm aiming for the commander's hatch. We're shooting APCR here, and the reason for that is I just want 3 marks. So, yeah. The IS-3 is poking up, so we're going to focus on him. Maybe we can put a shot into him. He's going to be a big threat if he can live all game. IS-3 is a major threat for this tank, simply because its gun is so strong. I'm going to put another shot into that guy's commander's hatch. Looks like I got shot by HE from that KV-5. It didn't really do anything, which was pretty lucky, but generally I tried to not... I don't like getting hit by HE because it, you know, damages modules and drivers and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's the other KV-5. We put another shot into his commander's hatch. I'm just going to fall back and wait for the reload. Basically, we just trade shots with these guys for the whole game, and there's nothing really special about it. This is where the majority of this damage comes from. We're just going to shoot at their weak spots all the time. I'm just going to speed it up here because, in my opinion, there's nothing really to learn. I'm angling my armor perfectly, and I'm just aiming for weak spots. And they're always the same weak spots, so by watching this replay, you don't really learn anything. At this time, I notice that they're pushing through the 1 line. So if you look at the minimap, on the 1 line, they've got 2 KV-5s. I was also looking at my minimap, and we noticed we were getting flanked by an IS-6. I'm asking this KV-5 to come help me out, and we're going to push onto this IS-6 together. So I'm going to put a shot into him, and I'm aiming for his cheek right there. It goes and hits his turret, though, so that sort of shows how bad this accuracy can be at times. IS-6 ammo racks the Chaffee to our side, and I'm just going to try to put a shot into this dude while he's reloading. Unfortunately, he gets into a relatively safe spot. We're aiming for his track there. He backs up, and it misses. And we take a hit from a KV-5. At the time of this replay, I didn't really notice that KV-5. To be honest, he wasn't that much of a threat anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. That KV-5 rams the IS-6, now we're just going to push on while that IS-6 is focused on the teammate KV-5. Alright, so we just put auto aim on so we can continue to drive to our base to go and defend. We obviously don't want to get fast capped, so we're going to put a shot into that IS-6, and then we're just going to drive over to, well, we're going to see if we can put a shot into that T-37. In the end, both of them miss, and we're just going to drive basically to go and defend the base. There's a T-29 that we will try to put a shot into right now. And the second he starts to back up, I take the shot. I aimed it for as long as I possibly could, and I took the shot as soon as he started to back up. That's going to give you the best chances of hitting a target when you're snapshotting. There's the KV-5. We try to put a gold shell into him. It bounces. I noticed that there is... Well, he is moving up, and this thing isn't a really good sniping tank, so I try to close the distance. We get spotted, and we get take a shot from a Hellcat to the left. So we're going to go try to spot him. And this is sort of funny here. We aim perfectly on his tank, and somehow that bounces. Don't ask me how, it just bounced. I don't really understand it. We're going to put another shot into him. The already puts one into him, and we managed to get the kill there. Right through his mantlet, which is pretty funny. Alrighty, so now we're just going to fight these KV-5s. We're on half health, and they've got more than 2,000 HP between them, maybe? Yeah, they've got 2k HP between them. Not anymore. Each of them, well, the KV-5 that I'm currently aiming on is a 2-shot, and the guy on the right is a 3-shot. Maybe a 4-shot. It's a 4-shot. So just want to keep that in mind. I'm going to push up. I've only got 2 gold shells left, so I'd like to use them well. That KV-5 just bounced one off me, and I think I'm going to push up onto this guy any second. I'm just sort of waiting for support, so I noticed that I've got the KV-5 behind me, and I see him on my minimap. And once I notice that the KV-5 is actually sort of starting to move up, I'm going to move up too. Managed to bounce a gold shell off that KV-5, and our teammate's moving up, so we're going to go help him out any second now. And I'm just going to fast forward this. In my opinion, heavy tank gameplay is a lot of time spent reloading, but at the same time, it's very, very fun and interesting. Alright, so we're just going to push up here. There's the KV-5. I think we get the... Oh, that actually bounced. It didn't go where we were aiming, and now we're down to APCR only. So when you're shooting APCR, you have to be really careful where you're aiming in this thing. You have to aim for this R2-D2 right there. Anywhere else will bounce. Right there we get our third kill, and now we're just going to side scrape to this KV-5. He's side scraping to us too, but he's side scraping to 2 different people. So the second he looks away, I'm going to try to put a shot into him. Already tries to take a pot shot, misses, and the KV-5... I think pens one. No, he didn't actually. Okay. And we get the shot. Now they're face-hugging. The KV-5 might look at me. It looks like he is. And I'm amazed he didn't reload before I did. Actually, he did reload, and he just missed the shot. So that was basically the game. We just managed to farm all our damage on the 0 line, come back, defend the base. So you can see why it's important to put yourself where a lot of the enemies will be. We were able to actually, like... help out our team massively. We ended up doing like 5,700 damage, so yeah. I'm gonna basically end it here because the rest of the replay is me trying to get a Fadden's medal, because I waste all my ammo and try to kill the T-37 with my last shell. So the rest of the replay is me trying to get a Fadden's. You guys don't really need to see that, so let's go look at the end plates. Alrighty, so as you can see, this was a mastery badge. We also got high caliber, 154,000 credits, 2,403 XP on a premium account, 1602 base XP. Let's see, this was 5,700 damage, 4 kills, 1602 base XP, and we got 6 medals. In the end, we ended up blocking 2,130 with my armor, and in the end, we made a 21,000 credit profit. So, I mean, this thing's good at making profit. As you can see, you can still make profit if you fire straight gold, and you miss a lot like I did. I think I actually missed quite a bit. Let's see. In the end, we ended up shooting 30, and we hit 22 of them. So, in the end, we did actually miss quite a bit, but I think it's because I shot a lot of my shells into the ground to try to get the Faddens. So, yeah. Everyone, thank you for watching. I plan on doing way more of these reviews. They're a lot of fun, and hopefully they're helpful to you guys. If you want to see more, be sure to like and the subscribe button. And, yeah, I hope to see you around. Later, guys. Bye-bye.